Hello guys, welcome back. So before I start this video, I would like to apologize for the delay. The reason for the delay is I lost my video source, so I had to remake this whole series, which is taking too much time. To get things faster, I decided that I will just do the final part with the new code that I used in the last video. So I have all the code written, and which is exactly the same code we used till the last video. So I do understand that some comments are missing in this code, so I'll just add that so that you will understand the code, and also it will be very easy for you to follow up. So let's start with this function app. So this is where our image classification is happening. Here we are loading the mobile net algorithm. So we are getting the image from the DOM using this ID. So this is just a basic JavaScript code that I've written to keep it easy for the beginners. So here we are getting the response. We should wait until the classification algorithm returns you some data. So once you have that, you will need to convert the data to JSON format for better handling in the next part, which you'll get to know. So here I do the mistake again. So here we're actually hiding the button called get result, and here hide spinner. Here we are showing the spinner because we have to tell the user that there's something going on. If there's nothing happening, the user will never understand. So here at this part we have all the response ready, so we hide it, and then we do the little bit of HTML formatting here, and then show the results here. Alright, so I believe this function is clear to you all guys. If you have any doubts regarding this one, you can ask me in the comments. Okay, this is a cool part. So firstly, you need to know how many, let's go back here. So let's say you added some pictures here. Before you add the new one, you should be able to understand how many pictures are already available in this one. It's pretty easy with the JavaScript. So you just use this query select all, and I'm using a ID called IAM, and inside that I use the class function, class attribute, so it's easy for me to figure out how many elements are there in the DOM. So before I add a new picture, all I have to do is just add +1 to it, so I'll have a new element getting added. So every time someone calls this function, I have a new card getting added to the DOM. So this part we are trying to add the image using this input field. So we are eliminating the white space in the beginning and the end, and this is just a basic validation. If the user enters nothing, I just throw an error. Like if someone do this, it will ask them, you need to enter something. So let's say they added all the details we need, and we just add the template. Okay, so once we added all of the card, clear the input field. So in card to the DOM. So this functions part is done. Okay. So we're going to add one to make the new card being unique. Alright, so with this we are adding the card to the DOM, which is your UI right here. It will be nice if I could show you with a real example. So I'll get an example picture from here. Let's say okay, let's see if it can. So if you're trying to do the same way, just make sure you use the right image. We don't need all of this formatting stuff. This is being added by the Pixel's website to make the image fit our browser. If you actually use this image, you will get the actual picture size, which is this. I guess the picture size is too heavy, so it's taking a lot of time. Okay, when I added the URL, it added the card here, and at the same time it cleared the input. Perfect. Let's see if it is giving me the result. Well, it's a sports car, like it said. Alright, so this part is pretty much done. It is doing its job very well. So now paste two tiny functions and we are done with this project. So this function is actually, I'll show you. So let's say, okay, let me refresh this one. So let's say I'm clicking this button where I might have too many of them. Let's say I have three different buttons here. So when I'm clicking on this one, the code should be able to understand that this button is related to this image. So this tiny function is doing nothing but when someone is clicking on that, it is just getting its ID and calling our function called app. So you all understand this function already. So that is the only part this tiny function is doing. And the next one is this part. As you can understand from the comments, it is just stopping the stream from the Esp32cam. Let's copy this code. Let's go back to the code chef, paste the code in this. Well, you need to know two important things in this one. So you're going to copy the code except the first comma. Code. Get back to your code chef editor, paste the code, and here you just need to pay attention to two things, which is we're not copying the whole hexacode in this part. We are eliminating the first comma. So when you copy that, just go to your camera index.h file. See that there's a hexacode already well formatted in this. So you have to remove this part, the whole part. You need to be careful because there are two functions. One is for the 2640 and the other one is for 3660. So we're just going to remove this part, not the whole code. So if you break it, if you break the code, you might get some other errors when you verify the code in the Arduino IDE. So you'll just remove this part. Yeah, well, I understand this is going to look ugly, but you will have to do this part. The second thing that we're going to get from this is this length, which is 27,860. It might change in your code. when you use the same code, the value might change. So don't stick to the same number. So that's 27,860. So you're going to save it. Now you upload the code to your Esp32cam and you open your local host or local server that your Esp32cam is giving, and you're good to go. You will see the same thing. Thank you for watching and thank you for your patience, and I'm really happy to receive many requests in Instagram. I'm really happy that they are able to complete this project using my source code in the GitHub. So if you have more queries or if you have any doubts, please feel free to reach out to me in Instagram. Thank you and have a nice day.